Hi, I'm Cale,
I'm Jack.
and we're going to do a quick video on how to do your stock pitches.
Alright, so the example we're going to be using is the Coca-Cola company you guys all know. So this will be kind of your header page. You have the company name and then the stock symbol. Then next we have the table of contents. So you're going to have 5 sections in your thing. You're going to have company overview, industry overview, risks and catalysts, the evaluation, and then the thesis. And we're going to go more in depth on what exactly is in each of these 5 sections. So section 1 is the company overview. So the company overview, you're going to have the company summary, you're going to have notable news, you're going to have other company details, and then ESG, which is environmental, social, and governance. So the company summary, you're going to have when it was founded, you're going to have historical information, you're going to basically explain what is this business. Obviously, the Coca-Cola company, we probably don't have to explain it to you, but you may not know, the audience may not know exactly the company you're talking about. So you're pitching this company, you're going to try to explain what this company is, what it does, how it makes money. Next, we have the financial snapshot. So you're going to have the stock price, the 52-week high and low. You're going to have the beta, you're going to have price earnings ratio. You're going to have another couple ratios on the next page too. So the earnings per share ratio, EPS, and then lastly, earning dates and earning reports, either earning reports that happen or future earning dates coming up, because those could affect the stock price a lot. So this is an example of what it would look like for our company, Coca-Cola here. So again, on the left there, just explaining what the company is. It's a beverage company, founded, 1892. The financial snapshot, going over the stock price, the beta, all the ratios we talked about. And then lastly, the revenue breakdown. I don't know if we talked about that, but that's this is breaking it down by region, I think. You can also break it down by, if it sells different products or different even types of products, how big the company is and whatnot. Just overall explaining, what the company is. That's what we're trying to do here. Then for notable news, we have, is there any mergers or acquisitions? Is there any change in executives or any leadership, new CEO or anything? Just notable news that will affect the stock price, or even will affect the market share in the industry. Maybe what are the competitors doing that might affect your company, your stock. Lastly, other things maybe to look into, divisions or subsidiaries, maybe a closer look at the products it has, maybe new products coming up or past products they got rid of, and also their global reach. Is this company maybe just dominating America, or is it a worldwide company here? This would be an example of notable news. We're not going to read all this, but you can say, the stock price has been rallying the past 3 months. Anything that is just currently going on with the stock price that is, going to affect it, basically. And then ESG, so you can say what are their goals on ESG, what is their progress on those goals, notable news in ESG. Also, if you can find an ESG rating, which will be how risky the company is. So here would be an example of, ESG for Coca-Cola. And that's environmental, social, and governance, stands for ESG. So we have goals there, the progress, and then the ESG ratings there, medium risk ESG, which isn't great, isn't too bad.
All right, then next up for your stock pitch, you're going to go over the industry overview. Industry overview, you're just going to talk about the sector and the industry as a whole and its relationship with the economy. So an example of an industry overview for Coca-Cola is it's in consumer staples. You've got the economic conditions, how that affects the consumer confidence, and then all the discretionary, non-discretionary spending, and then also the other competitors in that sector and how they're doing. Here we got Pepsi and Keurig Dr. Pepper. So the competitors, you're going to list a handful of competitors, which is going to vary depending on which sector you're in, and then you're going to be going to need to discuss why those competitors are competitors and why they're significant. So for example, Coca-Cola, big competitors, Pepsi, Dr. Pepper, Celsius, Monster, all pretty big names that are directly competing with most, if not all, of Coca-Cola's products. The third section is going to be the risks and catalysts. Now, risk and catalysts, pretty simple. Risk is something that could hamper the stock's performance, and a catalyst is something that can boost it. So some examples of risk and catalysts for Coca-Cola. This was made in 2020, so you've got the supply chain issues with COVID, rising inflation rates, and growing competitors. A lot of these are just pretty cyclical with a lot of companies worldwide. And then some catalysts, the stock price lately had been rallying. There are a lot of collaborations going on. So anything like that that could help or hurt the stock.
Section 4 is the evaluation. So they're going to do the company comparable analysis. So this is going to be taking those competitors that you found in the last section and compare them using a variety of factors here. So you're going to compare the beta, maybe the earnings per share, the EPS, the PE ratio, the net income percentage of sales, and also the total debt ratio. And all this can be found in Yahoo Finance. All the numbers you're going to need can be found in Yahoo Finance, including the sector price chart, which is going to be just kind of a line graph showing the movement of the stocks either the last 6 months or last year, just showing how your company has moved compared to your competitor stock. And lastly, the analyst estimates, which might be a price target that the Wall Street experts have for your stock. There's an example of what it would look like. This is Coke, and then its 3 competitors that we talked about before. And then you have the beta, the EPS, P ratio, all the factors we just talked about. And they're in this chart, and you can kind of explain maybe why Coke has a lower beta than its companies or higher beta. You can kind of explain why or why not each factor might be good or bad for the company. And then this is an example of what the price sector chart would look like. So just kind of, again, just line graph showing all the 4 companies and how they've moved throughout the past year or whatever time period you choose. And then this would be an example of the analyst estimate. So as you see top left, this analyst had a price target of $67.20. So that is just what it thinks this stock is going to go to.
All right, and then the last section of your stock pitch is going to be the investment thesis. Now, for the investment thesis, you're just going to wrap up everything you talked about and put it into one package. So you're going to restate company overview, go over the important risks and catalysts and any other big key factors that are going to make a difference in whether you should buy this stock or not. So an example of Coca-Cola's investment thesis, one of the largest companies in the world, pretty stable company, risk and catalysts, they had to worry about COVID, but they've been making some new collaborations, so it's gonna look something like that. So you're wrapping up the investment thesis with a recommendation. You're gonna hit all those key points again and go over how those can justify buying or selling this stock. And as you can see here, our recommendation for Coca-Cola when we did this was to buy. Citations and resources, you can use a lot of things like company website, Yahoo Finance, news outlets. I use Seeking Alpha a lot. You can find a whole bunch of different sources out there that give you tons of information on these stocks.